Aloha Friday class. I've decided on every Friday, I'm going to rock the Aloha shirt from here on out. And I'm just going to go a little philosophy, just talk about a little bit of something different. So, got a little Bob playing Three Little Birds on the Spotify. And what I'm talking about today is the golden rule and grades. Okay. The one thing that I would like to think that I've done a good job of in living my life is living it by the golden rule, which is as easy as treat others the way you would like to be treated. I challenge each and every one of you that is watching this video to truly do that day in and day out. It gets real difficult. Like a good example yesterday, I was out B-dubs with the fam watching Bears Packers, and just got bad service and called over the manager, and believe it or not, the manager was kind of rude. And regardless of throughout the whole situation, didn't lose my cool, just dealt with the situation very calmly. Working at B-dubs, they were going crazy because they were really busy. And I just, regardless of how rude or how unprofessional people were being to me, I made sure that I was professional to them, and kept my cool. Or another good one is, when I'm watching somebody speak to me, I'm not going to be on my cell phone. I'm going to give them my undivided attention, because it's the same thing, same way I want to be treated. And when I'm teaching, I don't want anybody on their cell phone. And I challenge you guys to do that with everything you do. It's nice when somebody opens the door for me. When I'm going into a restaurant or going into the grocery store. That's something I make sure I do every single day. I know sometimes over the summer I'm running, and I see somebody, elderly man or woman mowing their lawn. I'll stop and, hey, can I mow your lawn for you? There's so many ways every day in this life that we live where we have the opportunity to treat others the way that we would like to be treated. And I challenge you guys all to do this. There's one other really good one I saw here on the images. The core of the golden rule is a moral obligation to treat others ethically for their sake, not ours, even if it's better than the way they treat us. Why? Not because it's advantageous, but because it's right. And because the way we treat others is about who we are, not who they are. I thought that spoke huge volumes, to me. And sometimes I might get a little bit annoyed, a little bit irritated or whatnot, and I just make sure I live by the golden rule, and I challenge, if any of my students are watching this, if in any way, shape, or form you feel I'm not treating you the right way, I would love to know, and I would like to know, because I take every thing that happens in my life as a learning process, and I try to get better as an individual, not just as a teacher. I think it's more important to be better as an individual. Okay, bang. I don't want to make this too long. All right. We just had our first test in AP Calc, and some students didn't get the grades they wanted. And I think as high school students, we get consumed by grades, grades, grades. And the one thing once again, I'm going to challenge you guys in these Aloha Fridays. I'm going to challenge you to step out of your comfort zone with everything that you do, right? That's the way we grow, is we step out of that comfort zone and we be uncomfortable. And if you can be comfortable being uncomfortable, bang, booyah, bang, bang, choo choo train, you get growth. And so I challenge you to step out of that comfort zone. Just try your best at everything you do. If grades is the topic, then try your best in your class. And if the grade doesn't come out the way you want it to, so be it. Failure is a good thing. We learn so much from failing. You learn more from failure than from success. Don't let it stop you. Failure builds character. When I got older and I gave up hooping and stuff like that, yeah, I used to have some game, dunking on people. I used to have some game. But when that was done, I got into endurance sports and I did 3 Ironmans, I did a 50-mile run, did a bunch of marathons. And the one thing I loved about that is I would fail. I'd be out on a Sunday run 25 miles in, and I'd quit on myself, and I'd fail. And I learned so much about myself during those times. Believe it or not, it took my dad passing away, 10 years ago. And that's when I picked up that endurance sports. And I learned and I failed. And whenever I failed, I just thought to myself, hey, my mind can do way more than my body ever thought it was capable of doing. And that's when I got big time into that endurance sports, and I've been able to finish everything. And so on the bucket list is that 100-mile run. On that bucket list is the Kona Ironman, which is like the toughest one in the world. Because I want to find out if there's something that I can fail at. And if it's up to me, if it's up to my mind, I'm going to make sure I don't fail. And that's what it's all about. And to students that are, hey, I need those grades, I need to go to this college. I promise you that if you try your best, in everything you do academically outside of school, that you will go to the school that was meant for you. And that's more important than anything else. And that school that's meant for you, you're going to get into. So challenge yourself, do those things. But don't get it twisted. You've got to try your best. If you're not trying your best, then you're not really failing. You want to try your best and fail. When you do that, you will grow. Aloha Friday. Like this thing if it was good. Send it to some of my old students. Maybe they would appreciate it a little bit. I am off my soapbox. Aloha. I will see you next Aloha Friday.